Where were you last night? Oh, okay.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into All Access Pass. I am Mario Vines, filling in for Jason, and today I have the privilege of interviewing the outstanding Dean Torrence and Jeff Skunk Baxter. First off, thank you both for being here. We all love you. Absolutely. All right, so gentlemen, as you can see, I've got a stack of questions from the audience here, but I always like to start off with just a few general questions for you both. And we'll start off with you, Skunk. Do you prefer Skunk, Jeff? Skunk, Jeff Baxter?
Skunk is my call sign.
Can you please tell us, how did it all get started for you? When did you realize that music was going to be your calling?
Well, let's see, 13.5 billion years ago, the universe formed from a small singularity. Actually, well, I mean, I guess it started when I was 5. I started taking piano lessons when I was 5. And I just kept moving on from there. We moved to Mexico City, and then I wanted a bicycle when I was 9, and my parents bought me a guitar, pissed me off, and then hung it on the wall, and a friend of mine said, I'll teach you some chords. And that's it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's kind of where it got started.
Wow, very nice, very nice. Absolutely. Thank goodness for your parents, right?
Yeah.
From the bike, right? Did you ever get the bike?
No. And my mom, she never really figured out, she hated the fact that I was going to be a musician until she got a chance to dance with Cher at the Forum when the Doobies played. Then she could tell the girls at the country club that everything was okay.
It's got benefits, it's got benefits. All right, Dean, same question to you, sir.
What was the question? I think, well, of course, we all, when we were younger, we all loved music. And I met this odd character at high school, this guy named Jan, who was very much a chick magnet. And I said, anything he wants to do, I want to be around, because that's where I could get phone numbers. So I mostly got in, I swear. I was with Bruce Johnston about a week and a half ago. He answered the same question with, it was getting phone numbers. If we could just get a phone number or two, then that's all we were in it for.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough.
That's truth. I'm telling you. No wonder we're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now I know why.
So another one of my favorite questions is, obviously through the years and years of performing for audiences just as amazing as this, what has been one of your favorite performances throughout your career? We can start with Jeff.
Boy, that's a tough one. It's like saying, which of your kids is your favorite? Oh, last night. Yeah, last night. Absolutely. What he said.
Come on, Dean. All right, we're sticking to it. Okay. Then same question to you, Dean. You're just one of those performances that sticks out in your mind is just one of your favorites of all time. Last night as well. Okay.
Last night was it.
Well, we're going to move right on along. All right. So, Jeff, this question actually is for you. As you all know, we love to take questions from the audience, and so we have a few here. This one comes from Mike from Dwight, Illinois. He asks, for you, Jeff, how did you get the nickname Skunk?
That'll be in my book.
And it's on sale, right? We're going to do the autograph thing. He'll actually autograph his book for you.
Next year.
That's cool. Next year.
Yeah, he forgot to bring him this trip, but
Can we get a preview, possibly, of where the nickname came from? I think Mike is very curious.
That's actually classified BBR, a burn before reading. So, yeah.
All right, making this easy on me. Fantastic.
You didn't think this was going to be a cakewalk, did you?
You could go to
Exactly.
lunch.
Thanks a lot, Jason, wherever you are. All right, so this one is also for you, Jeff. This one comes from Fred and Cynthia from Lompoc, California.
And where are they? Where are they? Let's see. Oh,
Hey, how are you? All right, so they have a two-part question for you. A, of the 3 Steely Dan albums, what is your favorite song involving pedal steel?
That would be East St. Louis Toodaloo, the Duke Ellington song.
Okay.
Because we were all big jazz fans anyway, and we loved Duke Ellington. And so we thought, okay, we'll take a Duke Ellington song, and each of us will pick one of the instruments, and then, chart it out and then play it. And so I picked the trombone part because, the trombone has a slide. So I thought, okay, that's a challenge. So, yeah, I thought that was my favorite pedal steel song because that was a real challenge.
Very nice, very nice. The second part of their question, yeah, you can clap, absolutely. The second part of their question asks, please comment briefly on your early band experiences in New York.
Wow. Band experiences, okay. Well, there was this one band called the Vic Goldring Orchestra. It was a bunch of guys all over 70 except me. My job was to get up every 20 songs and sing a Johnny B. Good song for the kids. We played bar mitzvahs, weddings, brisses. I mean, it was all very, very strange. The good thing about that is back in those days, they had things called fake books. And basically, fake books were folios of sheet music that were kind of illegal. Nobody had paid, the copyrights for them. But all the band leaders had them. So that gave me the opportunity to learn all the standards, everything. So when I started playing with Les Paul, when Les would say, I love all these guys, but nobody can play anything except for you, Skunk, because you know all the standards. How High the Moon on Green Dolphin Street, Take the A Train, Black Shiny Stockings, all of that stuff. And so it not only gave me the opportunity to be able to learn that stuff, but and I met Les when I was only 13, and we became friends. And by that time, I had a background in the standards. So it was a tremendous opportunity.
Wow, very nice, very nice. All right, Dean, this one comes to you from Myron from Olympia, Washington. Did you or Jan, well, he really wants to know where everyone is, so we're gonna raise a hand. Hi, how are you? Did you or Jan surf? Like actually surf? I didn't think that one was gonna be tough.
I'll pass on that one. No, of course we surfed from Southern California, for God's sake. I mean, we didn't surf well. Also, Southern California water is cold. So I liked the surfing part, but I didn't like the cold water. And then you had to maybe put on a wetsuit. That wasn't any fun. But go to Hawaii, we'd spend all day in the water every day and go surfing with the real beach boys, with the guys that kind of rent the boards and all that. They are called beach boys, you see. They're the real deal. So you'd go out with them. They'd bring a camera. And they would shoot you on a picture of you on a wave, and it was quite cool.
There we go. All right, I got another one for you. This one comes from Gary from Chattanooga. Was there a real life little old lady from Pasadena?
That question's for me.
Yes. I would
think?
believe so.
I thought you could take it if you want. Actually, what? What was the question? Honestly, I thought you were asking him a question. I have ADD, so I was watching a seagull out there.
No worries. We're all here for you. Was there a real life little old lady from Pasadena? And there's a second part. If so, was she really meaner?
Ooh, I can't divulge that part. There was a commercial made. Unfortunately, we didn't know it was only just a local commercial for Southern California Dodge dealers. But the local Dodge dealers in Southern Cal came up with this. You know, they had some muscle cars they were trying to sell. Duh. And they thought, well, we should make a commercial about our muscle cars. It's for younger people. And they came up with this. They found this actress that was really a senior citizen. And she liked to dress up and look really old. So they put her in a Dodge, super stock Dodge, and they did this commercial where in the day, in the 60s, especially around Southern Cal, every signal change anywhere in a city, there was a drag race, So they did that, and they had one. Obviously, it wasn't a Dodge, but they had a hot rod. And then they had her in the Dodge that they were trying to sell, this super stock Dodge. And you see the light change and just smoke, and then screeching, and it comes back into the frame, and she's the only one there. And all the smoke is rising up from the burnout. And she rolls down the window, and she looks right in the camera, and she says, "Put a Dodge in your garage, honey." Oh, of course, we saw that. We went, that's got it. And they had no song. We went, but visually, they had all the components of a Jan Dean song, which there was always some humor in it. Sometimes it was subtle, and sometimes it wasn't. And we thought we should write a song about that character. I mean, it's a perfect character. And then we'll go to, I think it was Foot Cone Belding, or the advertising agency, and say, here, we're giving you this song. Now, advertisers would pay millions of dollars to have a hit song. We're giving it to them. So we wrote the song. We knew it was going to be a hit. We sent it to the advertising agency. And I'm still waiting by the phone. Honestly, nothing, crickets. And you go, what sense does that make? But, then we found out, that wasn't their commercial. They didn't do the commercial. It was the Southern California guys, and they didn't want to admit that they did a good commercial. So it never made a national commercial. Honestly, I'm still waiting because it's retro. It would be kind of cool, but anybody knows anybody, let them know. I'm tired of chasing them. They're supposed to chase us. Don't get it. Is that a good answer? Do you like it? Okay.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff, this one is for you. This one comes from Rick from Florida. Who is the most talented artist you have worked with? I saw that one coming.
Who writes your check?
Oh, you mean besides Dean? Again, that's a tough one because I've been, as a studio musician, I've played with so many different. I think my favorite, because I can't say talented because there's so many incredibly talented musicians, but the one that sticks out is Dolly Parton. Working for her is unbelievable. When we went into cut 9 to 5, the theme song for the movie, she came in with cookies and baked pies, and we just said, you know, because if you're a studio musician, it's all about how many doubles and triples you can fill out to get paid. You know, I'm a sensitive artist. Where's the check? You know, so after about one session with her, we just said, we don't care about the extra stuff. We'll do anything you want. She was just such a sweetheart, such an incredible lady. And she is amazingly talented. The depth of her musical capability is beyond anything that people really realize. The instruments she can play, her understanding of composition and lyric writing. She's an amazing musician. And not to mention being an incredible American icon. So I'll go with Dolly.
Dean, I'm going to pose the same question to you, sir. I know. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Besides Skunk, right? Okay. I can't think of another one after that. I'm sorry. That's a tough one. Does it have to be musical, particularly? Well, let's say
necessarily.
somebody like Dick Clark.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Great man, loved music, as you all know. It was his life, his passion. And he took every opportunity to figure out how to get music to an audience, including all the television shows he produced and all of that. This is a really terrific guy and had all sorts of vision. And just a really neat guy. We loved working for him.
I like that. See, I'm glad I asked you. All right, this one comes for Jeff. It is from Tom from Houston. He asks, what can you tell us about missile defense?
Well, we're in a music venue, so I don't want to bore anybody with the details of exoatmospheric intercepts with a high delta V. But
Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Well, you tell them about the good news you got today. Can you share?
I could share that, right. We had a missile test yesterday off the coast of Hawaii that was extremely successful. We intercepted something going Mach 7. So that's a pretty big deal. And missile defense is important because you love your family and you love your kids and you want to protect your kids and your family and protect as many people as you can. So other than that, I really can't get into much detail, but I think it's a cool.
Wouldn't understand it.
Right? But I will say, just in case folks don't know, can you at least briefly say why that's a passion of yours?
Years and years and years and years ago, when I first started working for the Department of Defense, or even before that, I had written a paper on how to take a particular Navy air defense system and convert it to do missile defense using an S-band radar and some specific intercept algorithms that were designed to track the space shuttle. That's a whole other world there. But I wrote the paper, I gave it to a congressman who gave it to the chairman of the Armed Services Committee. He said, what is this guy from Raytheon or Boeing or something? He goes, no, he's a guitar player for the Doobie Brothers. right? So I get the call, and next thing I know, I'm at the Pentagon.
There you go. That is outstanding.
There, you told me a story once that you were involved in kind of a takedown of somebody, and they were laying on the ground, and you had a gun pointing at them, and the guy turned and looked up, and he goes, "You're one of the Doobie Brothers."
No, I actually, yeah, because I was with LAPD at the time, so.
Oh, LAPD.
Yeah. So, yeah, the guy's looking up at me, and he goes, "Hey, man, you look a lot like that guy in the Doobie Brother." Yeah, just keep your hands where I can see him.
Yeah, you kept saying that, and he kept turning around to look because he was so in, and you kept saying, just, well, thank you. You were very nice. Thank you very much, but don't move too quickly there, fella.
We're always polite.
LAPD, always polite. Yeah, sure. Tell that to Rodney King.
Just had to go there, Dean. You just had to go there. Moving on. All right, this one is for you, Dean. This kind of piggybacks on one of the previous questions. This one is for Mike from West Virginia. He asked, when was the last time you have sidewalk surfed or regular surfed?
That's a good one. I think it was my youngest daughter was in a program at Huntington Beach High School, music program, and it was very cool. The guy that ran the program thought it would be fun for her to sing Sidewalk Surfing to the. They played for audiences, mostly parents and other classmates, and obviously he knew that she was related to me, and so he said would you do this with your dad? And she said, sure. John Stamos was a background singer. And so I had, the coolest part was they had the Tammy show. Anybody see the Tammy show? Yeah. We were going to do that. The visual was on a big screen in back of us of Jan and Dean doing sidewalk surfing on the Tammy show where I ride the skateboard. And so we were dressed kind of like we came as close as we could to this black and white that was no sound. A band was going to actually play live. And then when the skateboarding part came, then I would actually try and replicate what I did. It didn't work out very well. But at least we tried it, and it was really fun to be on stage with my daughter. And then I'd keep looking back and just going, who would have thought, that 40 years down the line, I would be skateboarding with my daughter, and I would be doing Jan's part. She was doing it was, and John Stamos was singing along. So it was all good.
That's a beautiful moment right there. All right, Chuck from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, has a question for both of you. So first part for Dean, what's your favorite LP you ever designed?
Well, it wasn't the one I won the Grammy for.
Just toss that in there.
Never talk about that. In fact, I gave the Grammy away. That's a long story.
Right?
What?
It's not every day someone says they gave a Grammy away, so folks are curious.
Oh, my daughters sat on it and broke it. Anyway. Right?
Right.
Yeah. And they didn't mean to. They just lost track of it. They were practicing, if they ever got a Grammy, their speech. So they were holding the Grammy. I wasn't there. I knew nothing about it. And then lost track of it and then went on to do something else. And they set it down and then forgot it was on the couch and they sat on it. So. But I fixed it with duct tape. Really good duct tape, but duct tape. And a friend of mine liked it so much and he thought it was hilarious that he bought it from me. I didn't want any money for it, but he said, here's enough money, find out what it costs. It was like $500. And he said, I'll at least give you the money you can replace it. I said, oh, okay. Took the $500 and I think I spent it at Dairy Queen, probably.
It's a lot of ice cream.
But my favorite cover, I don't know, all the nitty gritty dirt band covers. I liked most all of them. And a Steve.
Linda Ronstadt.
The what?
The Linda Ronstadt cover.
Linda Ronstadt. Yeah, that was a pretty good cover too. Linda didn't like it, but she didn't like much. Oh, she liked in my office, you know that story too. I had a Roy Rogers clock from the 50s. And Linda would come in to look and see, you know, how the design was going. She'd always look at that clock. And she'd say, Dean, I really love that clock. I said, I know you do, but put it down. You know, cute girls, how they go. You know, guys, oh, sure, Linda, you like that? You go ahead and keep it. I said, put that down. Don't touch it again. Then she'd come in, criticize the cover, and leave. Anyway, that's a few of them I like. Well, Steve Martin cover I liked a lot. Comedy's Not Pretty. I don't know if anybody saw that. And the record company kept telling me that he's not funny. Why are you even doing this? I said, oh, I think he's funny. And then it was a platinum record. And I said, oh, that's why you did it. Okay.
Perfect. I love it. Of course. Yeah, thank Chuck. Where do you want to know where Chuck is?
Yeah, where's Chuck?
Chuck's right here in the front.
Oh, right here. Oh, that's Chuck.
Jeff,
How much would Chuck? Never mind.
Lord. It gets better from
Thank
here.
you. Good question.
All right, Jeff, this second part is for you. What was the guitar that you were playing last night? He's curious about the guitar.
It was the platform is a Fender Stratocaster, but the electronics are made by Roland, and it's a electronics company. Musical instrument company I've been working with for over 50 years, doing product design and research and development, and it's a modeling guitar. It has a computer in it that models different guitars, different tunings. Because I just got sick and tired of bringing 10 different guitars or 5 or 10 guitars to a show. Why? So we just designed an instrument, built a prototype that had Les Paul, Stratocaster, Telecaster, 12-string acoustic, 12-string electric, sitar, nylon string, drop tunings. That way I didn't have to bring a bunch of instruments with me. And yeah, it's pretty nifty.
Tell them how you do it. I mean, those switches are on the back, right?
Well, they're actually in the front, but the electronics come from the back. Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. It's if you want to hear I'll tell you the quick story. I went to Mr. Kakahashi. He was the president of Roland, great guy, and I said, Mr. Kakahashi, I want to help. We need to design a modeling guitar, and he goes, oh, Jeffu, Electronics are too big. No fit. I said, Mr. K, I work for Lockheed, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon. This is easy. So, we're designing stuff that's moving at Mach 10 and making decisions in, femtoseconds. So this is no big deal. So anyway, designed the instrument, took it into Mr. K, and he went, oh, Jiffu, very, very good. We're going to make. So and listen, Mr. Kakashi passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. He's one of my favorite people in the world. I actually met him when I was working on 48th Street in New York, and everybody knows him, Manny's and Jimmy's and stuff. And he started Ace Tone Music, and I used to go down there to pick up Premier Reverb units to bring them back to the store. But these are the, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent here, but it's people like Leo Fender and Mr. Kakahashi and people like that who create the musical instrument companies who design and make available the tools to make music. So these are kind of the unsung heroes. I mean, we stand up here and play, but somebody designed that Fender amp. Somebody designed those drums. Somebody designed this microphone. Those are the people that we really owe a tremendous debt of gratitude for.
All right, Dean, this next question is for you. It comes from George from Denver. And he made sure to put asterisk, asterisk, important question, asterisk, asterisk. So I think it might be important. Let's see.
Aren't we just about out of time?
Nope. All right, on the Jan and Dean version of the Beatles song Michelle, instead of the French lyric, was Jan really singing Sunday Monkeys Don't Play Piano?
I mean, Sol de mon cul, let's see, Satterbomb. I don't know. Jan didn't sing it, so I don't know what he was thinking. I sang Michelle. We're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I sang Michelle. Son de monkey, whatever that is. I don't know what it was. I just phonetically sang. What was the question? Did I know what I was singing?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. Sounded good. Paul McCartney said it was okay. Actually, he complimented me, but he's a nice man. I'm sure he complimented everybody that did a Beatles song. But it was nice hearing it from him. Of
course.
I liked the version.
All right. All right.
Jan and Dean did not sing that many sappy love songs. We were more into the carburetors and surfboards and things like that.
Yeah.
But I did it. I liked it. Liked the song.
Good stuff. All right. All right, so this one is also for you, Dean. How come Jan and Dean are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? What can we do to make it happen?
I have no idea. But they are lucky that Dick Clark had a stroke. That wasn't good for him, obviously. Dick Clark, as you know, the American Music Awards, you've all seen that, right? I designed the logo for that, by the way, but it's another story. Dick and I were very close, good friends. And it always bothered him that the Grammy Awards were kind of industry guys were making those decisions, not you folks, the industry guys and patting themselves on the back and stuff. So Dick said, he called me in the office one day and he goes, I'm going to do an award show, and we're going to go after the Grammy Awards, because I'm going to have this show called American Music Awards that the fans of the music pick, who the top artist is or top records are. And it's all fan-driven. So I said, oh, good idea, Dick. So obviously the show worked well. Y'all seen it, right? It was a pretty dang good show. Then when it came to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which he didn't get into like about the 5th round, I think 5 years later. God, he should have been the first guy, probably. My humble opinion. But he was going to do his Hall of Fame, like Dick. Maybe he would use his name, maybe not, but it would be, again, you folks would be the ones that were picking who goes in and who doesn't, because it's kind of subjective, and I don't know what their opinion is, but in metrics, yeah, we probably should have been, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I don't care.
Well, obviously we care, and we want to see you in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, so your job is to start sending letters, postcards, baked cakes, whatever it is, and send it to the people at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and start a campaign. This is the way it works, at least in a lot of ways in the United States. You want to get somebody's attention, you put together a group of folks, start a campaign, and they're going to have to, they can't ignore you, you know. Then call up somebody who has a friend who's a reporter and say, we are now starting this campaign. And the reporter puts in the news, AP picks it up, different news organizations pick it up, starts to show up in different newspapers, and all of a sudden, they've got no choice. Go for it, do it, it's up to you.
They'll completely ignore it. Just don't care.
I do, I think
They
you should be
think
in the
they
Rock Hall
know
of Fame.
better than you folks or you and me. You know, they really, we've kind of done that before, and they just don't pay any attention.
Well, I think that's a shame. I think that's 100% a shame.
Go listen to him, do it.
Listen to Jeff. Listen to Jeff. All right, Jeff, this one comes for you from Joe from Pennsylvania. Joe says, please explain and instead of but to everyone.
Yes, this is a lesson I learned from a lady who I used to date many years ago. Very smart girl, lady. She told me that you never say but when you're speaking about anything that's emotional. You always say the word and. So I really like what you're wearing, but I think you should change it. No. I really like what you're wearing, and I think you should consider maybe changing it. So, and but has a negative connotation, or at least the one with one T. The one with two T's, that's a whole different world. I'm not going there. But and is much more friendly and is much more positive.
Fair enough. Now I'm asking, where's Joe? Where's Joe from Pennsylvania? Joe, that was a very unique question. It was a very... Ah, okay. At a concert, you explained that. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Moving on along. This one comes from Jeff, not that Jeff, from New York City. This one's for you, Dean. Why did Brian Wilson give Jan and Dean songs to record?
Usually he gave us Brian Wilson rejects. Surf City was something he kind of struggled with it. You know, I mean, people that are artists are just that way. You know, you think something in your mind that's going to work, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and if you lose that desire to finish that project, you just put it aside, and you get a new one, or there's a new one in your mind that's more exciting, something. And so that Surf City was a song he'd I think he put just about half written it. And he knew we were looking for some sort of surf song. We were trying to talk him out of Surfing USA, which was something, that was his new thing he was interested in. Put the other one away. So we tried to talk him out of Surfing USA because we liked that a lot. He said, "Don't. I'm going to keep it, but I have something that's similar that I'll give you. I'll find the drawer that it's in." And he, and then he brought us this half-finished song, and he said, "Finish it, and it's yours." So that's how we got it. A Brian Wilson reject was better than 99% of the writers ever, you know. So, oh, Josh.
He wanted to make sure you knew where he was.
Okay. Well, I was distracted by the nice lady that just left. I don't know why she left.
All right, Dean, this one's also for you. This one comes from Alex from Detroit. Who was Arnie? Thought Baby Talk was credited to Jan and Arnie.
Briefly, it was, yeah. Jan, we were, in high school, we were in a vocal group called the Barons. And so we'd meet up at Jan, sing doo-wop. And so there's like always 6 or 8 guys in this ensemble. And, the guys would come in and out of being in the band or being in a vocal band. And one of those guys was in our club, this Arnie Ginsberg. And he came up with this idea to write this song about a stripper that he had just seen. This is the 50s, wow, we'd never seen a naked person before, except, your friends in the shower room, but, yeah. And so he had this idea to write this song, and we were all working on it. And about a day before, I had signed up to be in the Army. Why not? But it was a 6-month program, so we could get in and out, and it was very smart. They recruited us in the high school, said you can get in on this program, and it won't be last. They were going to discontinue it, so they got you, thinking, do I want to go in for 2 years or 3 years? 6 months? We were 18. Let's do it. So I forgot to tell Jan about that, but. So one day before I'm set to leave to go to the Army, I probably told him, but he probably didn't remember. He went to a studio to take the tapes that we had made. Somebody walking by the studio heard it, and we were just doing it for ourselves, not necessarily to put out. Some guy walked by the studio and said, what is that? He said, it's just bunch of friends and all doing a song. The guy said, I'll put that out, and that'll be a hit. So Jan, of course, very excitedly got on the phone to me and said, we're going to have a record out. I said, oh, great. And so, you need to come and we got to work some more on it. I said, well, I'm going in the Army tomorrow. He said, what? I said, I'm going in the Army. When you're in high school, nothing ever happens, right? So you don't look into the future very far. And I thought, I needed to get this over with. He was so pissed off. He said, call General Westmoreland. I said, oh, you have his number? I don't. And he's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm leaving at 8 in the morning or something to go to Fort Ord. He said, call that Westmoreland and tell him that, you're going to have a record out and we're going to be bigger than, I forgot at the time, I think, the Everly Brothers. I said, nobody could be bigger than the Everly Brothers. This guy's crazy. I went in the Army, and about 2 months in, I hear it on the radio. And it's by. And then when they said Jan, I was expecting them to say me and Arnie. I said, oh. Damn. Yeah, that was a big deal. And I was probably never going to, ever get to sing with them again. But I got lucky, and Arnie got tired of it all. And I just slipped right in there. So the very first records said, on Baby Talk, did say Jan and Arnie because we were trying to buy his name, and I would have been forever. I'd be up here right now being Arnie, Skunk and Arnie. That sounds
Skunk
good.
and Arnie show.
Yeah.
The Skunk and Arnie show.
Arnie didn't give up his name, thank God, and so it became Janity and stayed that way forever, almost.
Wow. All right. All right, and we have time for one more here. Dean, this one's for you. It actually says, and this is from Arlene from Houston, Texas. There goes Arlene. This is going to put her in heaven if you pull this off here. She said, will you sing...
Pressure.
Exactly. Lots and lots of pressure. Will you sing the woo-woos at the end of Baby Talk for me here because you can still hit those notes? The eyebrow.
I'm a guitar player.
My God, there's a reason we didn't sing that last night. Because those notes, I was 18. No, my fault, woo-woos, I don't even really know. You mean the falsetto part, right? My bandmates tell me that my falsetto all by itself it can crack frozen food. I don't know. Is that a compliment? No.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
At least you might get a call from Northrop Grumman wondering how to weaponize that.
I'll tell you what. You come Friday, and I'll think about it. I could do it, at least do it, a little bit of it.
Right, it's not going to happen, and thank you.
Yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, please help me in thanking the amazing Dean Torrance and Jeff Skunk Baxter.